Hi, in this video we'll be talking about string formatting with the format method and fstrings. Strings often need formatting. There are a couple of ways we can format strings. 1. Manual formatting. 2. Formatting using the string format operator, which is a %sign. 3. Using the format method. 4. Using other string methods like sender, ljust, rjust, zfill. 5. Formatted string literals, the so-called fstrings. As for manual formatting, it's the simplest but also the most limited way of formatting text. Manual formatting is carried out by means of all the possible operations on strings, like concatenation, repeating, using custom separators in the print function, etc. Here's a simple example of manual formatting. We have a string variable a equals here, another variable b equals we, and yet another c equals go, period. And now we can use manual formatting like so. Print A, B, C. They are comma separated, which means they will be printed one after another. And again, here we have a string literal. Here we have the three variables again. And here we're defining a separator to be the following sequence of characters. And what we get is, here we go, and again, here we go. So all these strings are concatenated into one string, and they are separated by this separator. Okay, and now let's have a look at the format method and fstrings, because the format method and fstrings are much better solutions. Let's talk about the former first. The format method takes two kinds of parameters: positional parameters and keyword parameters. There may be any number of the former as well as any number of the latter, provided there is at least one parameter of any kind at all. Positional parameters are accessed by index. Keyword parameters are accessed by keyword. The general syntax for the format method is as follows. Here we have our string, then the format method, and here are the positional and keyword arguments. So the template is the string on which the method format should perform the formatting. The template contains format codes. Format codes are contained in curly braces. Format codes, along with the enclosing curly braces, may be referred to as format fields. The parameters in the format method are the actual data which, after formatting, will be inserted into the template string in place of the format fields. The parameters P0, P1, etc. are positional parameters. The parameters K0, K1, and so on are the keywords or the keyword parameters with assigned values V0, V1, etc. Well, complicated as it sounds, it gets much clearer after some examples are given. Let's start with something simple, a template with just one format field and one positional parameter in the format method. Something like this. Text equals. Well, this is our template. And here we have just one format field. This is the format field. Here's our method format, and it takes just one parameter, soccer. And now this parameter is the value which will be inserted into the format field. Okay? Let's print text out. I like soccer, inserted here, and baseball. Now here, the format code within the curly braces is empty. We could also have more parameters and format fields. Have a look. They bought 5 something, 3 something, and something. Format, and here we have 3 parameters: apples, bananas, oranges. So we have 3 format fields and 3 parameters, which means these parameters will be inserted into these format fields in the same order. Let's print it out. They bought 5 apples, 3 bananas, and some oranges. Okay. If the format fields are empty, we just take the parameters in turn. If there are not enough parameters, we get an error. Have a look at this. They bought 5 something, 3 something, and something. We have 3 placeholders or format fields, and in the format method, we only have 2 parameters. And it's not enough, we'll get an error. It's an index error. Tuple index out of range. Alternatively, we could use the indices of the positional parameters in the format fields for clarity. The indices are 0-based. So here we're using the indices. 0 is the first one, 1 is the second one, and so on. So these are the indices of these parameters. And now let's print it out. They bought 5 apples, 3 bananas, and some oranges. So the output is the same, but there's another advantage than just clarity to using the indices. We can use them in any order and as many times as we want. Let's have a look at this. Text equals, they bought 5 something with index 1, 3 something with index 2, and something with index 0. The next day, they bought even more this thing, which is with index 1, but not any 0 or 2. So now these indices are repeated as many times as we need, and they are in any order we can think of. Now apples, bananas, oranges. Each time apples will have the index 0, bananas will have the index 1, and oranges will have the index 2. So if we now print this text, we'll get something like this. They bought 5 bananas, 3 oranges, and some apples. The next day they bought even more bananas, but not any apples or oranges. Now, if we need the curly braces to be printed, we just have to double them. Have a look. They put the text in. Here we have our format field, which look like so. And here we want the curly braces to be printed literally. Now, format curly braces. So this string will be inserted into this format field. And what we get is they put the text in curly braces, which look like so. Okay. Now, how do we use keyword parameters? Let's have a look. Let's make it a bit smaller so that we can see the whole of it. Text equals, her name was, name, this is a keyword parameter, she was, age, and was I, job. Now, format, and here we have these 3 keywords. Age equals 45, name equals Lucinda, job equals musician. So we just use keywords in any order. Now we can print it out. And this is what we get. Her name is replaced by Lucinda. So these keywords are replaced by the values that correspond to them, right? So her name was Lucinda, she was 45 and was a musician. We can also mix positional and keyword parameters. Positional parameters must always come first in the method. Have a look. Text equals, he went to 0, which is the index of the first positional parameter, then to 1, which is the index of the second positional parameter, and finally to destination. Here we have a keyword, and the value corresponding to this keyword is Ohio. And how it works is the following. He went to Florida, then to Georgia, and finally to Ohio. So as you can see here, we mix 2 positional parameters and 1 keyword parameter. What is important is that the positional parameters must be before the keyword parameters. Finally, let's talk about the formatted string literals, or fstrings. They use pretty much the same syntax as the format method. So we have format codes in curly braces embedded in the string. Such strings are prefixed with f. Have a look. Weight equals 24. And now we can use an f string like so. F, which means f string, weight in kilograms. Here is the format field, or the placeholder, and inside the placeholder we have our variable weight. So it prints weight in kilograms 24. We can also use expressions in the placeholders, like for example weight in grams equals weight times 1000. Weight in grams, 24,000. Or another example, something like this. Well, in this example, you can see some more advanced formatting. We'll discuss it in more detail in the next video. But for now, just have a look at the output. Amount of the substance in milligrams, and here we have this value occupying 10 characters. So we have these blanks, these spaces here, and this is right aligned, and the precision is 3 decimal places, but we're going to talk about in the next video. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.